Very good morning. Today's the Talk's Royal Correspondent. Yeah, tomorrow is the Golf Correspondent, and on Friday he'll be the Darts Correspondent. We love him. Rupert Bell, good morning.
Not darts, Jeremy. Good morning.
Good God, man, you look washed out. Are you all right? The light's very bright there, isn't it? You all right?
Yeah, well, I got my window open. That's probably why. But
Yes.
you know, you always think I'm washed out anyway.
No,
don't
I
you?
don't.
So,
Listen, the amount you drink, you would be washed out. Belly, good morning. Thank you for joining us. I mean, God, I want to talk to you a little bit about Andrew. The Met Police today are being asked to open an investigation into him. John Healey, the Defence Secretary, was talking about taking away his medals from the Falklands. We know there's a story in the Sun today that he's tipped to vanish from public life and live in a six-bedroomed Abu Dhabi palace with Fort Knox-like security. He's been erased by almost everybody and everything. And I just want to say this. I completely agree with all of that. I find him loathsome, entitled and an idiot. I think he has fueled the debate about the royal family and its future. But I do believe also it's all gone on him. There must be other people involved. I don't think that's an unfair comment, is it?
Well, it does seem to me that from looking at the Jeffrey Epstein whole issue, that he does seem to be the low-hanging fruit here.
Yeah,
that he's
absolutely.
the one who is put up, and you know, he can deflect from maybe all the other stuff. So maybe one or two people in America are going, phew, Andrew's taking all the flack for us and distracting everything for it. We're even getting President Trump making statements about it, so, and what impact it's having on the royal family. So it is, but if you just take that aside, Andrew has brought on this all himself.
Yeah,
and
completely agree.
And there's no. And I have to say, yesterday I was with Andrew Lowney at something in my local town of Stratford at a book festival, and he had a sellout audience listening to him. And there is not, I mean, the court of public opinion is absolutely against him. And there's no two ways about it. And he's got no way back. So, as Andrew Lowney even said yesterday, and I think he's quoted in this Sun article, he could go off to the Middle East and there would be no question answered about his lifestyle. So that may be a better option, because maybe the people of Norfolk don't want him there, holed up in Sandringham. So if he's just secreted away behind closed doors in a palace in Abu Dhabi, that might be better for him. But all the same, his life has just gone, you know, by his own actions. And I'm not, you know, he has brought about this himself.
And I want you to know, I completely agree with that. I just think we both are making the point. He is the lowest hanging fruit. Met Police investigation. Congress demands for that. Do you see either of those two things happening or not?
Well, I think there is now, he's, I suppose, a quasi-private, well, he's a private citizen now. He's now just Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, although talk of stripping him of his vice-admiral title. He could be Commander Andrew Mountbatten Windsor, because that was his official rank when he served in the Royal Navy. And when you get to Commander, I think you're entitled to keep that title with you because you have served, and he legitimately got to that level. But yes, I can see something happening in Parliament. I think one of the reasons why he was stripped of his Prince title is by the King is so to avoid any questions in Parliament. But there might still be questions about the financial arrangements of the whole royal family setup. How are they managing the properties? What is going on? Not just about Andrew, but also others. What's the arrangement with Beatrice and Eugenie with regard to Kensington Palace? There are all sorts of questions that may be being asked, and the Crown Estates and everyone have now got to look very closely, because we are talking about, and you probably are this morning, all the people having to tighten their belts, the talk of the tax rises, and everyone living in strained economic circumstances. If the royal family are seen to be living a gilded life and not actually paying what is due, then I think that's not a good look for the royal family.
Couldn't agree more. And just to finish, and I think that's right, it then begins this whole debate, and I think that's probably why the King acted, you know, about the legitimacy, wrong word, the future of the monarchy. And there's only one other thing I wanted to say. We threw it out there earlier. It seemed pretty swift from we're not going to do anything to you've lost your title, you're out the house, your absolute history. Do you think they think something big is coming down the road, Belly?
I think they've just got to their wits' end, but I don't think it's the end of the story. There is no two ways about it. They're trying to control the narrative. And you look this week, it's a big week for Prince William. He's off to Brazil, the Earthshot, the COP. He's representing this country. They want to see some positive headlines about the impact.
I wonder
of
how
the royal
much of a
family.
carbon footprint it costs to go to Brazil, but there we go. That's just my opinion.
Well, he flew in a scheduled British Airways flight, so there's no private jet, so that is one of the reasons, and I think British Airways actually are involved in the Earthshot. But I think the important thing is he wants to be seen to be exerting the real positive influence of the royal family, which is the royal family on a global stage, because it still has an impact. But he doesn't want to see more lurid Andrew headlines, which is a total distraction. As we saw, the King had to, when he went to see the Pope, that got lost. Andrew
Listen,
the
really,
narrative.
Really good to have you on, Belly. Really appreciate it. More on Andrew. He used to be Prince. He's no longer. We've got some